for you. To get to Google Drawings. So Google Drawings is kind of like Google's Word, you know how like Microsoft has Paint. Okay, Google Drawings is essentially Google's Paint. Okay, it's a place to make drawings, and you have to get there. To get there, you have to go to your Google Drive, and you have to go to New. And you're not going to see it right away. You have to go to More, and you'll go to Google Drawings. And what that's going to do is it's going to open up a blank canvas, essentially. Okay. Just like anything, if you've ever used Word, like I said, Microsoft Paint or anything like that, you're going to have a lot of the same tools, just as you do even in Google Docs and things like that, the file, edit, you know, all those things are here as well. You'll need to title. You can always title it. Let's see. Today is the 14th. 14th. Okay. And then from here, you see this blank canvas. It's checkered. That means it's a transparent background right now. So when I download it, it's going to download with no background. So if you're grabbing images from Google and things like that, you get the ones that have the white background, and you have ones that you got to look for that are transparent or a PNG file. So you have this blank document. And like I said, from here, you can, just like we were doing in Docs, you can insert images. So this might be something from the web, from your computer, from Google Drive, from Google Photos, whatever. Let's go with our dog theme again. So I'm doing that dog research project. I need to insert an image. Oh, geez, it's in my way. There we go. Insert. So it essentially lets you start to kind of play with these images. You can add shapes. If you need to, for some reason, you can add shapes, make them different colors, give them a different outline, whatever you need to do, okay? So you've got shape options, you've got table options. I'm gonna show you one in a minute where I added a table for a comic book. You can add text. So just like anything kind of you're probably used to, some sort of text box, where I can get in and start typing text into my image, make it whatever fun worded you need to do. You even have the insert for word art. So word art is just going to kind of makes it like a bub. It makes it just a little bigger. So something you can kind of rearrange, fill in the different, make it look a little different. You can change the text if you need to, and so on. Okay. So again, kind of like probably any kind of graphic design or like Word or Paint option you've used before. What makes Paint or what makes Google Drawings pretty cool is that you can do a bunch of different things with it. So I'm going to go back to this folder, and in this folder, you'll see, and you've probably seen these going around. In my next session in Google Slides, we talk a little bit more about it. But Google Drawings, or making yourself like this Bitmoji type classroom that's interactive. So because Google, just like in Docs, is a live living document, you can hyperlink images in your Google Drawings as well. So when you click on things in my classroom, okay, so you click on this book, you're going to see that there's a link that pops up. And I'm able to click on that link and take me to that web page. So this is a great, ditch that textbook. This is a great web page for you to have. It's kind of all the different things you can do with drawings. So he goes through and gives you a bunch of different types of ideas to how to use drawings and ways that it's used in the classroom. But think about making interactive posters, okay? So being able to create this poster-like piece and then add links and things like that in the poster, that if your students are learning about something in history or science, and they make a poster, but then within the poster there are all these little hidden links that then take you to something they've written, or a video that they watched, or a video that they've done themselves to talk about that topic. But and a link to a research page that they found. All these little things that they could do to make it totally interactive, but it's kind of like an interactive infographic, essentially. So that's the main way I've seen it used in classrooms really successfully is to have kids make an interactive infographic or interactive poster, okay, using Google Drawings. The other example I have in here is doing kind of like a get to know you challenge. I've done this one with teachers before when we've introduced Google Drawings, but giving them this little challenge that they have to do in drawings to get to know, one, all the tools in drawings, but two, it might be something you do at the beginning of the school year, especially if for some reason we are not face-to-face and you want them to have kind of fun, something to do at home to show them and get them used to using Google. You could have them do this drawing challenge where they make a poster essentially about themselves, and they have to include word art, an image, a hyperlink, a shape, a text box, and so on. You could change this. You totally have access to do this. Make a copy of this and change it for yourself, and then submit it into Google Classroom, and then they could see it. You'd be able to see this little kind of get to know you piece about them. Another example here for you is using it for comic strips. This I did really quickly, so don't laugh at my comic strip. But essentially, what I did is I inserted a table. Okay, I did a 4x4. You could do a 3x3, whatever. You can insert a table, and then have them add images into each section, and then add their speech bubbles. So if I go to insert shapes, there's little call out bubbles that they can use. They could do a text box and just type in there, whatever, but they could make this comic. On another layer then would be to make it interactive as well. So does this image go to something or show you something that I've learned or whatever, right? So you could make it into like an interactive comic strip as well. This is me in the morning with my cats because they like to get up and then go outside 50 times, and then I let them in 50 times, and then, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we usually look like. But just a way to think about using Google Drawings as well, okay? Why Google Drawings exists, essentially, is because sometimes in a Google Doc, this is why I connected these two together, sometimes in a Google Doc, you need to insert an image that's not from essentially, you don't want to insert something that is from your computer or not like a picture image, if that makes sense. You want like a drawing image. You want some fancy text. You want to make your header look, you know, with word art, things like that. You can go here to drawing, okay, and you can create a new drawing just like we're doing right now, or you can grab a drawing that you might already have created in your drive. And let's say I want to add this comic strip in because now I'm going to write more about my comic strip or more about my learning. I would click on that drawing and hit select. And then what it does is it inserts that drawing into my Google Doc. Okay, so if for some reason you need to create something specific for a Google Doc or a slide deck or anything like that, you can do that through inserting a drawing. And like if you went to new, all it's going to do is it's going to prompt you to do this here. Okay, I would do my drawing here, add in, if it's just word art I want to add in, that's fine, I can do that. When I hit save and close, it's just going to save it and close it. Well, let's do this. Let's just put a shape in. Let's say I got to put big smiley face in. Oh. There we go. And we'll fill it in, make it yellow. Okay. I hit save and close. Now it inserts it right into my doc for me. So I didn't have to even go outside of my Google Doc to create that drawing. Okay, so that's kind of how those two connect. That's why drawings still technically exist. For a while there, we were kind of thinking it was going to go away, just because there's other things out there that you can do a lot of the same things with. You can even do a lot of these same things with Google Slides and inserting a slide as an image, but it's still here. I think it's a great useful tool. I think it's really great for students to learn how to use in these fun ways to be able to, you know, make these interactive pieces. I know I've gone just a little over, but real quick, I just want to show you one more thing. File, download. So this is where this comes in handy. You can download this image as a PDF. And what happens is anything that you download, like any image, so obviously I can download as an image, so JPEG or a PNG. So that's where the background is still transparent, okay? But downloading as a PDF is pretty nifty because if I've added links in this drawing, so you saw me do some hyperlinking here. When I download as a PDF, which I've already done in this folder, those links stay. So when you download something as a PDF and you've added hyperlinks, those links always stay live. Why you might do that is because you notice in my drawings, when I click on something, okay, I have to go to another, I have to click and then click again. In a PDF version, I don't have to do that. In the PDF version, I just have to click on it and it takes me there. So I don't have to worry about things getting deleted or removed or anything like that. So just the difference between the two is if you download a PDF, links still stay. It's just a different way to kind of move about and create those links. Okay, real quick, what I'm going to do, because I know some of you got some questions, but I know some of you probably are like, oh, okay, and you've gone over. I'm going to put in the chat the link to the attendance. You got to go. Thank you. I'm going to stay on and answer some of these questions. So if you want to hang out for a minute and listen, you are more than welcome to do that as well. Okay, how did you get to Google Drawings? Okay, never mind, found it. If I insert a Google Drawing with hyperlinks into a Google Doc, are the links still live? Yep. So even this document, well, let me double check. I say that. Let's try it. I say that, and then I should probably double check. It's been a while. Second. So if I insert, let's insert the one that I have from my drive. So you're asking if I put in hyperlinks, if those hyperlinks stay. We're going to link to source. Nope, they do not. That's a bummer. But you can. Hold on. I'm playing with it. 2 seconds. Those are linked objects. Let's do this. Let's open source. So it looks like you cannot directly in the Google Doc play with those links. But what I did, I'm going to do it again. When I insert that drawing from Google Drive that I've already created, this is the one that has the links. I'm going to select. What you're going to want to do is link to the source. So essentially, when I hit insert, if a kid were to go to click on this or anybody, it's going to tell them that there's a linked, this is actually something else, a linked drawing. So they'll be able to open up this drawing from here. So it does not look like if you hyperlink things, it will work in a Google Doc. That's a great question. Good deal. Oh, attendance form is not there. I put the wrong one. Sorry. I probably put the Google site. My bad. Sorry, Karen. There you go. There you go. Tara, I hope that hopefully answered your question. When inserting images, how do we make sure they're not copyrighted? Okay, so yeah, so copywriting, Chelsea, is a big one. Here's one way to know that if you're inserting an image, it's not something that, well, it's something that's safe to insert because they're open source. So when you are using the insert image option in Google, so if I go to insert an image and I do search the web, this explore bar that it brings up, when you search an image, it's going to bring up images that are open sourced. Okay, so for kids or even yourself, you'll know that anything you use in the search tool, okay, are going to be open sourced images that you can use. So that is one way to do it. The other, Tara, let me know. Okay. The other option, which is a great option, I think it's called photos. I always mess it up. Photos for class. Yep, photos for class. Okay, so photos for class. I'll put the link to the website. I'll put the link here into the chat as well. This is a great website or site as well. So what this does is it's a search essentially, and it lets you look for images that you know are safe, that have been or open source, that kids can use. And like I said, they're safe, so you know they're not going to come upon something that is not appropriate. But you can download those images from here as well. And then when I'm in, say, my Google Drawing, I can insert that image here into Google Drawings or wherever you want to insert it. What's really nice about it, you notice that the image, it actually gives you the source of where it came from. So if you're, we're trying to teach kids to do the right thing, right? Trying to teach ourselves to do the right thing, give credit where credit is due. Photos for Class will actually already put the credit to that image for you at the bottom of the image. So, all right. Okay, Laura, real quick, Laura, if you're still on, I want to show you the Google Classroom thing. Hold on 2 seconds. Watch. Okay, so Google Classroom, really quick, because some of you were asking about documents and making a copy. So if I go into Classroom, and it's going to take a minute, and I want to open up a classroom. Let's do this one. This is my play one. I play around with this one a lot. And I'm going to make classwork. I'm going to make an assignment for my students. Okay, and I am going to add something from my Google Drive, or I'm just going to create a blank doc for them to type off of. Okay, so you can add or create. What that's going to do right here is this little drop down. Right now it says students can view the file. So right now they're just viewers of it. They can only open it and look at it. But if you want to make a copy for each student, okay, you're going to get this little down arrow. Make a copy for each student is what you're going to choose. And then when the student clicks on it and opens it, it automatically makes a copy for them, and it even puts their name on it. So it would say Zeke Smart -test. So then you'll see it when you open it up in your Google Classroom, you'll see each student's name at the top of that document. And it's essentially making their own copy for them. They're working on it in Google Classroom, but it's also saving it in their Google Drive for them as well in that Google Classroom folder. So making a copy is do it if it's the option. That's what I always tell people. Okay. Anything else? If you've got it, scream it.
And where's the attendance? I am struggling here.
So I'm going to put it in the chat.
Thanks. I got the link, but it takes me to all the recordings of the other sessions.
I think I accidentally put the wrong link. My bad. There it is. Now it's in there.
No worries.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
No problem. All right, everybody. If there's no more questions,